All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome. You can hear us, right, Kevin? Before I get going.
Yes, I can.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the super talented and fabulous director, Mr. Kevin Breslin. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. How are you?
Great. Let me introduce you first off. My husband and our cool.
I think we got a little technical freeze there.
That's okay. Our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hi, how are you? Listen, are you any?
Hey, Ron, what's up?
Are you any relationship to somebody who I'm crazy about? She's a fabulous actress, and she's Elaine May's daughter, and her name is Berlin, and I can't think of her first name, but I love her.
No, that's Breslin, Jeannie Berlin. She's
Jeannie, I love Jeannie. You know, I know her. I met her so many times out in L.A., and she's just, what an actress, what a fabulous personality, Jeannie Berlin. Don't you agree? Why isn't she working more?
I can't even go there in terms of the difficulties of why people are cast and why they're not. That alone is mind-boggling. You go, there's so many great actors. You go, where are they? And then they resurface with some part out of nowhere. I saw Peter Fonda, the other day in something great again. Oh, the Super Bowl commercial. I realized, where's Peter Fonda been since Yuli's Gold? And you realize what a spectacular actor he is.
He's on Twitter. He tweets with me all the time.
Well, I'm going to have to get in touch with Jeannie because, her mother's Elaine May.
Yes, of course.
And they didn't speak for years. They had a bloody battle. And Jeannie was very affected by it, and that's what happened. That's why she left film for a while, but she's back. I've seen her in one thing, and she was superb. I mean, she's a natural. She's visually different than everybody. Her voice is fabulous. So hire her the next time you do a movie. Come on. You
know something? You planted a thought in my head.
I'm serious. And then tell Jenny Ron Russell was responsible, so she gives me a big kiss when I see her. I love the girl. I've spent hours with her bullshitting, and she's phenomenal. Genius, intelligent. Oh my God, is she intelligent?
Hold on. We have to finish though. Hold on, because I know he went into everything without. Okay, so this is Ron. Then we got the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Hey, Kevin. Good to have you.
Hey, Chad. How are you?
Doing well. And then we have a chat room full of people, so say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, everybody. Pleasure to meet you all.
There you go. All right, so tell us where, because I tried to tell Ron, I told him that we did a test Skype yesterday and that you were in Brooklyn someplace and near the water, and then I couldn't remember where you told me you were, and then he was guessing all these things, and I was like, it's none of those. It's a different one.
I was born on Columbia Street.
In Brooklyn. In Red Hook.
Brooklyn Heights, Red Hook.
Columbia Street, Brooklyn Heights, yeah.
Well,
it's
it
funny
also
you say
runs into the Red Hook projects. That's where I was born.
I was in the Red Hood projects last night across the street having dinner at a place, and I'm not big on plugging places, but a place called Pizza Moto, which is extraordinary.
Well,
it's funny you say that.
I was born in 1940, and in 1940, the Red Hook projects were the new thing that they built for poor people or for people of working class, whatever. And my parents took an apartment there, and when I go back there, I just fall in love with it because I remember all the little parks and Coffee Park. I love Brooklyn still.
It's funny that you said that. The movie I made, BlowTorch, takes place 10 blocks from there in Sunset Park, which shoulders Red Hook, which is right through the tunnel from Manhattan. So if the audience doesn't understand the geography of this, there's a tunnel between the tip of Manhattan and Brooklyn. You go under the tunnel. It's about a mile tunnel. You cross the East River. You're in Brooklyn. And therein lies where you were born, and therein lies the film I just made, all streets of Brooklyn, the old gritty streets of Brooklyn.
I think my address was 440 Columbia Street. Columbia Street. And across the street was the Italian club, all the mafia hung out. All the wise guys were there. And my father used to go there, play cards with his friends. Yeah.
Anyway.
Those were good days. Those were good days.
The Fonte's is a great deli there, which everybody goes to when you come to New York. They take all the people on the buses to a delicatessen there where you can get the biggest Italian heroes, the Fonte's. And it's still there because they're the last bastion of Italians that stayed in that area, because the projects now are predominantly African-American, Black, and Hispanic. And that's what Red Hook became for a long time, just those projects. There's a school there, the Daly Public School, where the principal was murdered, and they call it after him. He was shot in a gunfight that had gone on around the projects at that time, and he died at lunchtime at the school, I think in front of all the students, if my memory serves me correctly. He died, and they call it the Daly Public School there. But now it's an area where all the young people of New York City are moving into. It's got bakeries. It's got the new fancy supermarkets. It's gentrified. So New York's...
And who can afford it? It's outrageously expensive. Now, when I lived there, of course, it was wartime, so it was loaded with sailors and soldiers and everybody in uniform, and it was a beautiful place to live. It was all trees and parks and fountains. I mean, gorgeous. The swimming pool that I lived in was incredible. It was a
the
public
big pool there. It's still there.
Well,
the Brooklyn pool is still there.
Is that the pool I always go to that you always take me to?
No, that's in Astoria.
Red Hook
Okay.
Pool.
Okay.
It's an enormous city pool. I think like a few thousand can swim in it.
Yep,
It's enormous. You're correct.
And my father, who was a champion swimmer, used to show off and go on the highest part of the diving board and do all kinds of stuff. And then one day he went down and hit his ear, and he didn't take care of it, and he had to have an operation on his ear because he got, I forgot what they call it, something when you damage your ear. But I have a lot of memories of that.
Perforated ear.
Yeah, I have my accent. You know, people say you have such a New York accent. I said, no, it's Brooklyn. And I go back to listen. I don't want to be like L.A. And we're moving back to Palm Springs. And I'm so afraid that I'm going to say the dog and the water. And, oh, I shot her beaver, like those guys do, you know, which they think is cool. I shot her beaver. You know, we say I saw her snatch. You know, we're from Brooklyn. We don't like Donald Trump. He grabs him by the C-U-M-P-T-O-R. Right.
I'm not going there.
Okay.
Brooklyn, I'm very unimpressed today. If you're following the news, I don't care who's one's politics. We live in a country where you should adhere to the constitutional laws, I think. However, we'll move on.
We are so in favor of that. But are
Your
you
accent
from
is
Brooklyn?
interesting.
Are you from Brooklyn?
Where I live, you asked that. I live at the end of Flatbush Avenue, which is the ocean, ostensibly Rockaway, which is the ocean in New York. It's at the tip of Brooklyn, which most people probably go, there's ocean in New York. Yes, 7 miles directly right out from Manhattan is the ocean, and that's where I am, in the epicenter of where Hurricane Sandy hit.
Absolutely. I used to swim there. Lido Beach is where we used to go, Lido Country Club Beach.
But that's Long Island. Where
but all the way, Coney Island was my other home. I mean, I
I'm
swam
right
in
next to
Coney Island.
Yeah, I'm right next to Coney Island.
I know where you are. What's it called?
It's Urban Beach. It's where the beach meets, the A train meets the beach, if you will.
I remember that. Big train station.
Absolutely.
When you got off to go to Coney Island. I vaguely remember that from when this is 100 years ago. I'm ancient. But my days in Brooklyn were wonderful days in Brooklyn. And I only wish the people that lived in Brooklyn now could enjoy the days that I had and reproduce them. Unfortunately, drugs took over that area 20, 30 years ago. And because of the drugs, the principal was killed, the robberies, the rapes. It's a terrible place, and thank God it's regentrifying itself. And I hope all the black people and Hispanic people that live there can find the happiness and the memories they will have of a beautiful place to live.
That's a very astute point, because I think they are. Crime is obviously down.
Good.
People are staying there, and they don't realize that I think they do realize they're probably living in prime real estate.
Prime
and they
isn't the
should,
word.
as they deservedly should. And I don't believe, due to the greed in the city, that anybody should be kicked out of their houses because of their income. Because we now live in a city where it's unattainable unless you have an enormous salary. It's very, very difficult. And even then it's difficult, you brought up drugs. And we're all talking about the movie I made, BlowTorch, and it was based in that area, unfortunately, on drugs. Teenagers and drugs.
What else can you base it on? Miss America? I mean, she doesn't come from that. Miss America will never come from the Red Hook projects.
You never know.
Well, she would never stand a chance.
Why not?
Let's go back to that. Though. Hold on. First of all, I want to say, because everybody in the chat room is commenting about how well you're lit and how well they can see you, which is
how
nice.
looking you are, and I want to compliment you. You have the sweetest smile. If I met you privately, I would like you immediately as a friend. You have a very warm, happy, friendly, inviting in friendship smile. I got to tell you, see, I smile like shit. I look like a snake when I smile. So I never smile.
That's okay. So everybody, first of all, this is Kevin Breslin. You can follow him on Twitter at Kevin Breslin. KevinBreslin. You can go to BreslinFilms.com and you can go to Facebook.com, BlowTorch
Breslin
Movie.
Media.
But we
Oh,
want
is it
no,
Breslin Media?
Yeah, BreslinMedia.com.
You got to change your
Okay.
Twitter because I took that off of your Twitter.
We'll change
It
it.
was changed. Okay, we'll go
On
on.
your little Twitter
We'll-
thing, it
we'll
says,
change.
okay, so it's BreslinMedia.com, everybody. I screwed that one up, and he's going to change his Twitter
Okay,
after this show.
Now
I'm going to look at it, that's for
I
sure.
don't want to. I want to go right into his movie.
No, I know. Hold on. So go to Facebook.com, BlowTorch Movie. You guys like the page. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the movie. Let me tell
One
first.
question I
Okay.
want to ask: where did you get the title from? BlowTorch. Where the frig did that come from?
People were using crack, and they were having
Oh.
trouble with lighters.
Oh, I
And
got
at the
it.
time, I paid attention. And we saw somebody with a blowtorch, and I always kept it in the back of my mind. I thought it might be a stirring title or one that could at least excite someone to say, what's that about?
Well, it did with me. I thought it was either a maniac running around burning people with a blowtorch, but it's for crack when they boil the crack in a spoon. I'm not a drug addict, so I don't
Heat it
know.
up.
I'm
Heat
very
it up.
bad at this.
Or heroin, you heat it up. And so that's initially why I used the title. And it also is an analogous for the mother who became so inexorable in the story, chasing down who murdered her teenage son on the streets of Sunset Park, Brooklyn, which is the waterfront right next to where you were born. And the mother fought day and night to find out who murdered her son. Because when you ask a homicide detective to help you, they help you. But there are a lot of murders, there's a lot of crime, and they don't have time to solve everything. And when you can't get a quick answer, or you don't have a lot of juice behind you pushing detectives to help you, well, cases then stall. But your suffering doesn't stall, your loss doesn't stall, and therein lies the heart and soul of the story. A mother saying, I'm going to find out no matter what.
I actually wrote it down. So I wrote, BlowTorch is the Brooklyn story of Ann Willis, a recently widowed and financially struggling mother of three. When her oldest son is murdered, she takes the investigation into her own hands. You had another word in there that I couldn't
And
pronounce.
who plays
I
Ann?
probably couldn't either.
Who plays Ann?
Lois Robbins.
Who's Lois Robin?
Lois Robbins is actually, people know her from soap operas because she's been a main character in like every major soap opera that exists.
Then she's got to join our
she's-
gang.
yes,
we know
so
everybody in
Yeah,
soap.
we have a lot of soap opera
And the
people.
rest of the cast around there is a very formidable cast. Jack Falahy, who's on How to Get Away with Murder.
Right.
Jared
Hey,
Abraham.
First of all, I want to bring Jack up. Jack Falahy is like the greatest. We'll turn this down then. Jack Falahy is such a great actor, and like I think he's going to be one of the biggest stars in the future. He will be like, instead of just a great star. I mean, if somebody people knows right now, he will end up being like a great movie star. I believe.
And the other young man, Jared Abrahamson, he's the star of the show Travelers, which is on Netflix right now and just picked up for its second season with the guy Eric McCormick. He's going to be a spectacular young actor. I think worked for a long time also. Both these guys are gunners. They're great.
Did you
They're
do a lot?
solid. Haven't seen young actors like this in a while.
Did you do a lot of location shots?
Everything was, and then of course we had the great Armand DeSanti, Kathy Najimy, and Billy
I love
Baldwin.
him. He's fabulous. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
William Baldwin.
I always
Paul
remember.
Ben,
Yeah.
Paul Ben Victor, who's everybody, you guys know it well. He's a Facebook friend of mine, so like I knew him from Facebook already. But he's in Vinyl, which I don't
Yeah.
know if Vinyl's coming back
No,
or not.
Vinyl went off.
But
Paul
Vinyl
was
was
fantastic.
great.
And
Fine
I
also.
still remember Asante when he played Napoleon. My God, was he incredible as Napoleon. And
Well, he's incredible in this also. He's
He's
a
a
very
fabulous
fast
actor.
actor.
fabulous. He's one of the, when I talk about an actor, I talk about an actor. And of course, the Baldwin brother, which one is it?
William.
Billy,
Oh, Billy
Billy
Baldwin. Yeah, he's good too.
very,
He's
very
good,
good
Oh,
playing in New
good
York.
cast. Now, answer me a question real quick. When am I going to see this? I'm dying to see
It's
it.
available now. We could have watched it
can
last
watch-
night,
all right,
but
we're going to watch it.
Go on iTunes, Vudu. Amazon,
Hang on a minute. I
AT&T.
got to make a date. Are we busy tonight?
oh, I don't know, but we can watch it. Like I wanted to watch it the other night, but you didn't want to watch anything that might be violent. And I said it might be
Oh, I
violent. Since
will-
I haven't seen it, I
Hey,
didn't know if
listen,
it was
it's in
violent.
Brooklyn. If it's his and it's in Brooklyn, I'm going to watch it like I was one of them. You know, it's my home you're talking about. Sunset
Well-
Park used to be where everybody went to make love. My sister made out with her sailors and her soldiers that she used to date. Everybody made out in Sunset Park.
It's the Erie Factory streets, the forgotten streets, the last almost, I don't know, bastion of where you would imagine working class situation to happen in New York.
The best
And-
Statue of Liberty view.
Yes, it is. You
It's
can
the
see it
best.
right there.
I mean, you could touch it. You could reach out and touch her.
Absolutely.
I love
Without
that. That area
And
is
also
cleaning
city.
up, you know. They're putting some fabulous restaurants down there, 5-star, very expensive restaurants under the Brooklyn Bridge, the one I used to always go to. Who is it? The steakhouse. What's the famous name? Under the Brooklyn Bridge, the steakhouse. Been there forever, since
Um,
1938 or something. Famous. The steaks are unbelievable. They come from South America.
you stumped me now.
I can't think of it either. I'm 76. I'm lucky I remember how to pee
Oh,
in the
Luger's.
morning.
You mean Luger's.
Huh?
Peter Luger's. Peter
Peter
Luger's.
Luger's, of course. How could we forget Peter Luger's?
Hang on. So here's what I want to do, though, Chad.
I had a birthday dinner there a month ago.
It's
Yes, Cap.
outrageously expensive, but the food is great.
No, you want to know? In fairness to Luger's, it really isn't.
Well,
It's
what-
actually fairly priced for a spectacular night.
You're kidding.
No,
I-
it's
I heard
it's
it had
great.
gone up really. They've cleaned it
Sure.
up, you know. It got fancy schmancy, and now they charge. Well, I guess if you're gonna eat filet mignon, it's gonna be $60, $70. What do you call 60 or 70 for a steak? Cheap or medium?
in New York. Unfortunately, it's the going price.
Right, right. So, you know, I'm from the olden days when you can get filet mignon, potatoes, and stuff for $3.98, and leave $1.50 tip. And the guy was wiping your ass as you were leaving. He was so grateful for the $1.50.
Now hold on,
tip.
hold on. All right. Hold on. So Chad,
Hi, Captain.
Chad, you have like I sent you 2 trailers, a 30-second one and a 15-second one. We're gonna play them both, but let's do the 30-second one first.
I'm watching your movie tonight.
Okay, so hold on. So Kevin, you introduced this, and just hang on. It's only 30 seconds. He's gonna play it so everybody can see it, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
We don't get
Sure.
to see it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, we do get to see it?
Yeah,
Oh, what are
It's
we
on a
doing?
delay, though.
it's on a delay
I
though.
don't
That's
care.
okay. All right. So Kevin, go ahead and introduce it.
Let me look at the other monitor.
The trailer is going to show you the characters and give you a fast, quick take to excite you to want to take a look at the picture. You know, it's a gritty blue-collar kitchen table drama, kitchen sink drama.
Do you really use
An independent one that you won't see made by the studios because it just doesn't have any special effects in it. So, but it has heart and soul in real New York.
Are you
and-
using real Brooklyn dialogue?
Most of the actors, all New York actors, they all knew
but
how to act.
Brooklyn. See, I'll hear it. If they don't speak
Hey,
Brooklynese,
hang on, hang
I'll
on. I
hear
know,
it.
but you're messing up the whole intro
No, I'm
here.
not. I'm giving some
We'll let
interest
you-
to
we'll
it.
let
I
you
want
judge
people
the
to pay
dialogue. You give
attention.
the dialogue.
All right, so
Okay.
you just say here's the trailer for BlowTorch the movie or something like that.
Here's the trailer for BlowTorch the movie.
There you go. Chad's laughing.
Why are you laughing? I didn't screw up and say
No,
blow.
he's
Wait,
laughing.
What you think I was saying? The movie's called Blowjob?
No, people can hear that. Don't say that.
Oh, they know me anyway. My audience knows I
They
say
must
it.
love you.
They do because I tell it
How
like
come
it
I don't
is.
see it now, Chad?
I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass. I say it just real Brooklyn guy I am. Tell it like it is. Be honest and truthful. Phonies fall to the wayside.
It's only 30 seconds, so don't talk too much.
No, I want to see this fucking
But you can't
movie.
see it. I don't know why I can't see it on here.
Now I'm all excited. It takes place in Red Hook.
It'll be in Chad's thing when he sends it to me.
We can see it on Roku, right?
He's
Yeah, we're gonna
sending
watch
it?
it tonight.
There you go. BlowTorch.
There you go, everybody. So that's BlowTorch, you guys. That's the first trailer, which I think you see a lot of the characters in it, and I'm super excited to see it. I wish I would have watched it ahead of time,
Yeah,
It's all right.
How do I know?
but
You didn't give me the lowdown on this.
I said the guest is coming on, and this is his movie.
And I'm supposed to be a fucking mind reader. And no, it was shot in Brooklyn, in my
There it
neighborhood.
is, though. You can see part of it there because it's on a delay. There's
My
Paul
own
Ben.
neighborhood.
I love that. That 30-second trailer, though, is really good because it really does show everybody that's in the film just about. I mean, it's got, like, all the characters in it, so you got to, like, love it.
Good edit.
I wish, you know, I'm an actor also. I wish I was in your movie. I would have been thrilled to do it. And
I could have. Speaking with you, I can definitely see a part for you immediately.
no, seriously, and I give you the
Get you
real,
on the next
the
one.
real
I'll get you
Brooklyn
the next
accent.
one.
When I talk
Yeah, on the
Brooklyn,
next one.
okay.
There's no more Brooklyn accents alive. See, most New Yorkers are from somewhere else now.
No. I'm strict. When I talk, you hear Brooklyn.
Yes,
All
I
right.
do. I hear the cadence. No, I'm from Queens. You probably hear the cadence. There are more New York, like, it's a voice that's fading away because everyone's from somewhere else.
I know. People say that. You know, I also lived in Astoria, Queens, because when Brooklyn got bad and my sister was assaulted in the elevator, she's 8 years older than I, we moved to Astoria, Queens, to a nice house right off the East River, which was
Sure.
cozy and pretty. We had goats around us and a lake across the street. I went back. There's a factory across the street from our house, an auto dealer. The goats are gone. The trees are gone. It looks like shit.
Hang on. So hold on. So, Chad. Hey,
Hi,
Chad.
Captain.
So let's play the
Hey, Chad.
15-second trailer too. What's on the 15-second trailer? Do you remember?
I cut so many. This is just, the young guys, just piece of the movie, the action.
Okay,
Take a look at it.
So Chad, check this one out. Play this one first. Give us another quick little intro to it.
That's
Kevin.
Lois Robbins learning about the crime and what happened.
There you go.
Mother discovering who murdered her son.
BlowTorch the movie.
This had to be a lot of fun to shoot. What month was it?
We shot this. It was actually cold. We shot this in it was a March and April. No, I'm sorry,
There
November.
you go, BlowTorch.
There you go. And when did you shoot this film?
November.
We shot this in October and November, and I had just lived through Hurricane Sandy, and I was sleeping on the floor of someone's house because my house unfortunately was flooded with 6 feet of ocean, and I was sleeping on the floor of someone else's house 3 hours a night, and we were on a 6-day schedule for 20 days. And you'd be surprised, when you have energy and you're making a picture and you're working hard, you go to work, but you don't realize till the end of it, where did you get that energy to do that? And, when you're making an independent film, not that money is an issue, but it is. You don't have time for retakes.
Right. You don't have to.
You know why I think you're a good director? Because you're talky. You talk a lot. And that's what you need in a director, someone who talks a lot. I don't care for these directors that say, well, hit your spot, do your lines, have a good day. That's not a director. I like a director like you who would tell me the nitty-gritty of what I'm doing wrong. Like, don't grab your crotch and scratch it while you're on camera.
Yes. However, the actors that I cast were so good that was the beauty of it. I didn't have to do as much as one would assume, thankfully, because Armand Desante is so fast and good. And Billy Baldwin and Paul Van Victor and Kathy Najimy, these are all seasoned pros.
She was in it too?
Yeah, Kathy Najimy.
I love her to pieces. Oh my God, I
put
love
together
her.
a big New York cast. And I'd like, if the women are watching this show, to go watch this, because Kathy plays a small but very effective part of Lois Robbins' best friend, and they play waitresses in an Italian restaurant in Brooklyn.
Another great actress. Another girl that can do it. Like, she can make you laugh. She can make you cry. I wish I was at your cast party. I would have interviewing it. We would have put it on our ROKU channel. I would have done a wonderful job interviewing all your stars.
I'm sure you would have. And I didn't have to do much because they were so good that they actually helped me.
Who wrote it?
I wrote this. It's the first film I made.
That's why you backed off. Most writers, if you don't use every word they wrote, they have a shit fit. And they yell because they say, that's not my movie anymore. That's not my story. He changed the whole concept by using that line. Now, you wrote it, so you were open-minded to the actor. I did a film not long ago that the director should have been shot. The script was disgraceful. And I played a tough cop from Brooklyn. So I used my Brooklyn accent, and I disregarded his script because it was terrible. A tough cop from Brooklyn doesn't do like, oh darn huck shuck, oh darn heck. You don't do that. They shot it in Pittsburgh. That's how they talk in Pittsburgh. So I use my Brooklyn accent. Like, don't ask me about it. I don't need your bullshit anymore. Forget about it. What are you talking about? And they just looked at me like I was an alien. Like I was speaking Martian. But if you see this dog of a film,
Don't even bring it up. Why do you even bring it up?
Because it's the last piece of junk that I did. I don't want people to think. I don't want people to think that's what I do.
That's okay. Nobody saw it.
But you should look.
We shelved it. It's gone.
We'll get you another part.
My
I'll get you a
first
part.
movie was with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter, so that made up good.
There you go.
My very first movie I ever made was 19
So hold on,
years old.
let's push this back out. Okay, hold on, everybody. So first of all, you want to go because you have a cool website. Even though I had it wrong, BreslinMedia.com. You have clips of all the different cool things that you've done on there. Your documentaries. You have a shortlisted Academy Award documentary that won the Telly Award called Living for 32.
Yes, that was an important documentary I made about guns with a young man at Virginia Tech, Colin Goddard, that was shot 6 times in the room when Cho shot him. And Colin saved a girl underneath him. He told her, don't move, play dead. Kid has a coolness that I don't know where he got it. He said it was beyond terrifying. It's much shorter how fast it happens than anyone can ever imagine. And even if you had a gun in the room, he said, you wouldn't have been able to use it. He took 6 bullets. He's still alive. He's an amazing human being. And I made a film about him, and it was a couple of years ago up for an Academy Award, shortlisted for one. But more importantly, Showtime took that, and I've made documentaries my whole life. And this is the first BlowTorch I decided I want to cross over and do fiction, because it's quite expansive for the mind, a beautiful thing to try to work on.
But I don't think I'm going to like you as a fiction writer or director. I think I'm going to love you as what the work you do now, because so
nonfiction, you mean?
Nonfiction.
Yeah, I got it.
Because so many people try to do what you're doing, and it comes off so corny, so hideous, and crappy. They just don't get it. You know, when they did Saturday Night Fever with Travolta, they had Fran Drescher there to do the little dance part. Nobody talks Queens like Fran Drescher does.
No, they don't.
You know, she made it happen. And in so many movies that I see, like one with a very good friend of mine, I won't give you her name, but she's a beautiful blonde, and she was married to Alan Ladd's son. So there you go, figure it out. She tried to do a Brooklyn accent or a New York accent, and oh my God, it was so sad. It was just corny and terrible. Don't do it if you don't do it well.
Really not an easy accent to do, because you do sound like a D's, Dems, and Dozers, you know? And
Well, it's
like,
not so much D's, Dems, and Does. What it is we all came from Italian parents. And my father spoke broken English terribly. And as I was learning English I was a baby, all my friends, their fathers and mothers were Italian. So it's like, you know, in Italian, we use half of the words. We say, dammi la cosa over there, get me the thing, you know. So we heard that all our lives. So when we speak Brooklyn, it's because it's Italian. It's Italian people making mistakes. They taught us their broken accent.
He's right, though. You really do have a nice smile when you're sitting there smiling.
Isn't he nice? Don't you want to be?
So hold on, though, because
I like you. I want to be your friend. You know?
Okay, hang on, you guys. So okay,
you got a wife, a girlfriend?
I have a wife.
Oh, I was going to fix you up with a beautiful girl. I know. Anyway.
I have a beautiful wife. I'm happy.
Well, if ever you get rid of her, I got a beautiful girl.
Don't do that. Okay, hold on.
Shut up. It's a joke.
I know it's a
See,
joke.
that's Brooklyn humor. Jimmy's from Florida. He's a redneck. He has no sense of humor whatsoever.
I just don't want you like pawning people off on the guests.
Oh, shut the fuck up. It's a joke. He got my message. He knows.
Hold on, but I was trying to promote his other stuff, and you got in the way. So he's got this documentary, You Guys Living for 32. You want to see it? He also has a documentary called While We Watch, which is the first time we met him. He was on the show promoting the first documentary before we were television. You haven't, because you weren't on the show then.
I would have remembered.
It's called While. Well, you wouldn't have seen him anyway,
well,
so you wouldn't have known.
I'm going to watch your movie tonight.
So hang on, let me
wait.
finish.
I'm going to text message you what I think.
Thank you.
I'm expecting, my friend, a movie that I'm going to be aghast about. I'm going to say, "Wow, is that a good film?"
So it's called.
And then I'll tell everybody next week what I thought.
Okay, hold on. So it's called While We Watch. You want to go to his Breslin Media.
Yes. To answer your thing there, with the story about a woman, it's so hard. You know, to get a mother to take, from a guy's perspective, to believe in the power of a woman alone was a hard enough thing to sell. It would have been easier to put a male in the lead chasing down a young guy versus a mother.
No, we've
and
done
to
that a million
understand the
times.
nuances of a woman, I tried to give it all I could, and respect a woman and understand what a woman would go through with such immense loss.
Listen to me.
You know,
no, I think that was smart.
Hang on, boys. I had an aunt that was as fierce as anybody could be. If you ever touched her children, she would track you down and tear your lungs out and shove them up your ass. That's how tough she was. That was a Brooklyn woman. She was a Sicilian. My mother, who was from America, 9th Avenue, Hell's Kitchen, another tough broad. If you touched her children, she'd wipe the street with you. So you have a good character there, because it's believable. Your woman is tracking down this son of a bitch. It's so totally believable. It's a perfect cast. You did a beautiful casting.
But women are dismissed now as when they start getting in the way of like a New York City Police Department investigation. You become maybe a thorn in the cop's side, saying, let me handle my job. Let me do my job. Don't interfere. You're an amateur. Stay out of it. Go home. We'll call you. And then weeks turn into months. Months turn into a year or two. And you start losing your mind every night trying to sleep, saying, my son's murdered and no one's telling me a thing. It can really disrupt your life and wreak havoc on one's emotion.
I firmly believe every parent, including myself, I have 2 daughters. If anyone ever harmed my daughters, I don't give a shit about courts, trials. I get a gun. I get that son of a bitch somehow, and I blow his balls off and his brains out. I don't care if I go to prison. My daughters mean the world to me. I mean, they're the reason I live I can't live without my kids. Anybody harm them? I think that's every parent's feel. You got kids?
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
supposing God forbid somebody went and hurt your kid.
Yes, you immediately you realize how protective you are and how you
Well,
have to. That's your most precious thing in life. If you don't, I think there's something wrong with you. I think that you may be spineless, and that's not a good thing.
You know, there's very few films, though, that actually have the woman as the person who does that. I mean, I recently saw a movie. I don't remember what it's called, maybe Lila and Eve, but it has the lady from How to Get Away with Murder and Jennifer Lopez, where they're like, you know, grieving parents that go after the people who killed their children. And many years ago, who's the blonde? Jodie Foster did it in The One, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I think it was called The One. But I mean, it's really something that, you know, you've actually written it in a way that it's not like every other movie because nobody else is really doing it. So you're kind of like at the beginning.
Get a major release? How come did you go?
I don't know. You know, it's got a major. It got a major release though via this avenue, via video on demand through Momentum Films, which is a major distributor, and they felt that they could do better in this market distributing it this way. Momentum is part of E1, which is an enormous distributor. They're the biggest there is in terms of video on demand.
Yeah,
so
again, you got to have a lot of money and know who to bribe and schmear to get where you want.
I needed a big lead in the Lois Robbins part, the mother's part, and unfortunately, the actresses with the casting agents demand so much money. It just didn't work that way. Well, and when the pieces fell in place, we said, let's go with this cast.
If you would have gotten Hillary Clinton to play the part of the mother, your film would have been international in 2 seconds.
She's too old.
No, she's not. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about name and fame. The bigger your... Jimmy, come on. How many movies have you produced? And I won't tell you the names of the people that Jimmy contacted for their
talked to him about it offline. I don't want the world to know about it.
But the salaries they were asking are absolutely... Who the fuck do you think you are?
It's the agents, and I'm not knocking them. However, it's the agents and lawyers. If you would get to the talent on your own, half the time they say, oh, my God, this is fantastic.
That's what I tell them all the time. I had a TV show on Time Warner Cable in L.A., all right? Ran 4 years. I interviewed all the greatest celebrities of Hollywood, from Jane Russell to Cliff Robertson to Lauren Bacall. You name them, I did it. And you know how I got them all? I called them on their private phone. I made sure I got their numbers from who knew them. And I called them up. Even Betty Bacall was the best. Lauren friggin' Bacall? Are you kidding? Who gets out for an interview? And the interview I got was outrageous. They liked me because I called them up and I said, hey, listen, I'm Ron Russell. I'm a friend of Jane Russell. She gave me your number. I'd like you to come on my show. My show's not like anybody else's. It's called Set the Record Straight, which means whatever's been said about you in your life, if it's bullshit, come on the show and set that record straight. And they all flipped over it. They said, oh, I'd love to. Tippy Hedren came on.
For that one.
Wait, Tippy Hedren came on my show and talked about Alfred Hitchcock, what a filthy pig he was, and a degenerate, and the things he wanted her to do to him, which is every man's fantasy. But I didn't want to tell her that.
You know, I agree with you.
So get to the stars.
Yeah,
Screw the agents and the managers of all people. They're the most demented of all, the managers.
Well, it is a business, and a lot of people depend on getting paid, so it becomes complex, unfortunately. And that's why it takes so long to get something done. Because by the time this one's free contractually or that one's free, it becomes the morass of it all. Producers have to be very thick-skinned people.
I have a good friend of mine. She is a major star. And she received a script years ago. Well, she's dead now. I can give her a name, Betty Davis. And she received a script years ago, and it was called Gone with the Wind. And she said, well, it is Gone with the Wind. It's a piece of junk. And Betty told me this. I said, I read about it. She said, no, Ron, it's the truth. When I read it, I just thought it was ridiculous. Then when she got the publicity, she wanted it, and they wouldn't give it to her. They gave it to Vivian.
Are you still there, Kevin?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't think Chad is still there. Chad.
Well, we'll just keep rolling.
That's okay.
We lose Los Angeles here?
I'm not sure. It doesn't matter because we're still recording the whole thing for our TV channel, so we just keep going.
So the moral of that story is, and I've told many of my celebrity friends, my friends are all the old bags in Hollywood. Jane Russell was my dearest and best friend. We hung out together. I mean, we were in each other's houses. There's nothing I don't know about Jane. And she used to say the same thing. The scripts they gave her were tit scripts. I said, but you're a 36B. You don't even have tits. I mean, you want to talk about tits? Go to these tits today. They're 44 double Ds. She's a little baby. Her tits were like oranges. And that's all they wanted to do with tit movies. And I said, that's ridiculous. And Howard Hughes would have had her nude if he could have gotten away with it. So Jane Russell was upset about it. She never got the good scripts. I didn't want to tell her, Jane, you're not that good of an actress. You know, that could be the reason, because you were a fluff girl, not a drama queen. But, you know,
You know more about that than I do.
Huh? Oh, I'm on Hollywood. I'm in the business 52 years. Are you kidding?
Sure.
I've done television. I've done everything. And I never got anywhere. I didn't care. You know, I didn't want to be a star. I didn't care. I was raising my children alone. My wife got drunk and took a powder. And my kids were my life. So I never worked. I did a movie. I did a TV thing once in a blue moon. But I was a home mom. I was a Mr. Mom, the
Mr.
original.
Mom.
Like, as you can tell, my children love me and I love them, and they're still loving me and close to me. It's beautiful.
Well, that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, and that's what drove this movie, that a mother loved her son so much.
Absolutely.
Jack Falahy from How to Get Away with Murder played Jared Abrahams. They played best friends, and Jack dealt drugs to Jared. And unfortunately, in the film, Jared ended up getting killed.
Oh, don't tell us too much. Don't blow.
He's going to watch it, but I have to say,
I'm watching it.
I'm like super, though. I have to say, I'm super impressed with the fact that you got Jack Falahy, because he's
very, very good. Seriously, very good. When I watch him on How to Get Away with Murder, I'm almost in shock that he played this part. I go, wow, he's got a tremendous range.
Oh my God, and like just the fact that you got someone. I mean, because that's not like a little show. That's like a huge, you know, fantastic show.
How long have you been directing?
A decade, 15 years.
So you're good. You've made your mistakes. You know what not to do.
I still make them. Yeah,
Well,
mistakes.
You know,
That's
well,
easy.
Sometimes a mistake can hurt your film. You don't want to do that. I believe in the director. Getting back to Betty Davis, she hated every director probably that she worked with. Very few did she like, because she had an idea of her character and how her character should be. Unfortunately, as she said.
Hang on. We gotta. Chad's gonna call us back. Hang up. He's gonna call you right back. Kevin, hang up.
Hang up?
Yeah, hang up. He's gonna. The station's gonna call us both back.
Hang on.
You're like, yeah,
Hey.
How about now? That's better. Thank you.
Okay, good. So here's what we're gonna do, everybody. First of all, Kevin, we gotta have you back on another time.
Yeah, because you're an interesting guest.
You're a good guest, number one, and that way we kind of like we'll do kind of have you come back and kind of like do a little thing where we just talk a little bit about all your films and promote all of them, because
sure.
I also on your website, you know, I saw all kinds of like great work that you guys have done, stuff with Robin Roberts and all these like huge stars.
She's a wonderful person. I did a cancer thing with her. Big
Robin
cancer
Roberts.
from Good
Robin
Morning
Roberts,
America.
yeah.
She is another spectacular woman.
Lara Spencer grew up in my house. She's my daughter Leslie's best friend. Leslie was in her wedding party, and I was the one that encouraged Lara growing up to do what she's doing, because she was a champion swimmer, a diver and a swimmer.
They're marvelous together, Robin and Lara. They're great.
Lara is a dreamboat. She's my other daughter. What are you kidding?
Anyway, so because we gotta wrap this up because we have another guest in 3 minutes. Okay, so first of all, everybody, let's follow Kevin Breslin on Twitter. It's at Kevin.
And everybody watch BlowTorch.
Hang on, let me finish.
Wait,
Go to iTunes.
Or I'm sending the guys after them. Your knees will be broken on the next curb, so don't fuck around with me.
No, all right, you guys, listen.
You guys watch BlowTorch.
Follow at Kevin Breslin on Twitter, you guys. Check out all his work at KevinBreslinMedia.com. The Facebook page is facebook.com/BlowTorchMovie. You can see it on, I know it's on Vudu because I saw it. iTunes, Vudu.
Okay. Amazon, it's all there. It's
Amazon, it's everywhere. Is it only released digitally right now?
Yes, digitally and streaming right now. I think in Europe they're going to put it out theatrically in limited markets.
Okay.
That's an independent film, guys. You fight for your life when you make an independent film, and you pray that, you know, all people will take a look at it, especially women, and tell other women to watch it, because it's a woman fighting for her own rights.
But you'll make some money now, because I understand a lot of guys that go on these little ROKUs and things, they make a pretty good, decent living. If everybody watches your show, what do you get, like 15 cents a view or something? $1.50, some stupid amount, but it adds. If 1 million people
He's
watch
not going to tell you that anyway.
No, but if 1 million people watch you at $1 each, it's $1 million bucks.
Video.
after you
Technical
watch
difficulties
BlowTorch,
are amazing.
Okay, Jim, that's pretty bad. Try.
No. Say that again, Chad.
Hold on. Let me.
Chad.
Let's try calling him back. That's pretty annoying.
Yeah, Chad. I was keeping a straight face. I was saying how good I am as an actor.
You're like, yeah, How about now?
Hey.
That's better. Thank you.
Okay, good. So here's what we're gonna do, everybody. First of all, Kevin, we got to have you back on another time.
Yeah, because you're an interesting guest.
You're a good
Very
guest, number
excellent,
one, and
excellent
that
guest.
way we'll kind of like we'll kind of have you come back and kind of like do a little thing where we just talk a little bit about all your films and promote all of them because.
Sure.
I also, on your website, I saw all kinds of like great work that you guys have done, stuff with Robin Roberts and all these like huge stars.
She's a wonderful person. I did a cancer thing with her. Big cancer.
Robin Roberts.
From Good Morning America.
Yeah.
She is another spectacular woman.
Lara Spencer grew up in my house. She's my daughter Leslie's best friend. Leslie was in her wedding party, and I was the one that encouraged Lara growing up to do what she's doing because she was a champion swimmer, a diver, and a swimmer.
They're marvelous together, Robin and Lara. They're great.
Well, Lara is a dreamboat. She's my other daughter. What are you kidding?
Wow.
Anyway, so because we gotta wrap this up because we have another guest in 3 minutes. Okay, so first of all, everybody, let's follow Kevin Breslin on Twitter. It's at Kevin.
And everybody watch BlowTorch.
Hang on, let me finish.
I'm sending the guys after them. Your knees will be broken on the next curb, so don't fuck around with me.
No, all right, you guys, listen.
You guys watch BlowTorch.
Follow at Kevin Breslin on Twitter, you guys. Check out all his work at KevinBreslinMedia.com. The Facebook page is facebook.com/BlowTorchMovie. You can see it on, I know it's on Vudu because I saw it. iTunes, Vudu.
Amazon, it's all there.
Amazon, it's everywhere. Is it only released digitally right now?
Yes, digitally and streaming right now. I think in Europe they're going to put it out theatrically in limited markets.
Okay.
That's an independent film, guys. You fight for your life when you make an independent film, and you pray that all people will take a look at it, especially women, and tell other women to watch it because it's a woman fighting for her own rights.
But you'll make some money now because I understand a lot of guys that go on these little ROKUs and things, they make a pretty good, decent living. If everybody watches your show, what do you get, like 15 cents a view or something? $1.50, some stupid amount, but it adds. If 1 million people
He's
watch
not going to tell you that anyway.
No, but if 1 million people watch you at $1 each, it's $1 million bucks. So the idea.
So I get back. I'd love to talk to you about one other quick little thing.
Well, what is it? Give me a teaser.
I'll give you a good teaser. Go to Nicki Minaj on what's she on? On Instagram. And look at Quinn Breslin and bullying. And Nicki Minaj did a wonderful thing on Nicki Minaj Instagram with Quinn Breslin about anti-bullying. She did a tremendous thing.
I actually do.
You should be commended.
I love that.
Anybody out there being bullied,
actually,
hey,
I'm
anybody out there
gay.
being bullied, don't take it. Stand up and yell and scream.
Repeat that for me, Kevin, please.
I said, anybody out there being bullied, it's a cause I believe in. Don't take it. Stand up, yell and scream. Tell everybody till they're deaf that you're not taking it. Don't lay down. Don't recede. Don't hide in a corner. Open your mouth and yell and scream. And go to Nicki Minaj on Instagram with Quinn Breslin and see what she said about bullies.
Absolutely.
I have beaten
Like
the shit out of many people because of bullying. I have
a lousy, ugly thing. It's insidious, and there's many terrible things going on in the world. But unfortunately, young people are very sensitive, and they don't open their mouths, or they keep it to themselves. Why? I don't know why. We might not be constructed like that, but many people are, and I'm here to tell them, don't speak up.
When young people are gay, they commit suicide.
Reach out to me.
They commit suicide because they can't take the disgrace that people make them feel.
Gay, straight, lonely, hurt, sensitive. I don't think it's just gay. In fact, I think it's anything to do with someone that may be sensitive.
I hate this place.
Ma, told you this is what I wanted to do. It's good money, good job.
I just wish things were different, that's all.
It's gonna be all right. I gotta make more money, I gotta be the man. I don't wanna be stuck here for the next 30 years. Yo! Time for your job interview.
We run a business.
Move everything at a good price. No mistakes. You sell the crystal first and you start getting paid. But you're gonna make a lot of coin.
Is this your salary?
We're not living like dogs anymore.
Hey! Detective Hogan from the NYPD. It's Chad, all right? Step outside. He was talking to a cop.
Boy, Dave, he's all right.
It's not taken care of! Are you a rat? I'm a bit concerned with the company your son kept.
My son was a good kid.
You say you never saw Dave that night?
He didn't tell me what he was doing.
Detective Hogan, so how's it going?
You keep waltzing in here trying to figure out who killed your son, the drug dealer. We've got other priorities right now. Stay away.
Michael! What happened to Dave?
She's making me nervous, you know? I mean, she bothers me day and night. She knows.
Stop trying to play cop. You're in way over here.
You tell me who murdered my son!
I don't know who killed Dave.
Police!
What are you doing here?
Am I making you nervous?